Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice, just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Rivian Automotive, ticker symbol RIVN. And I will also be going over SoFi Technologies, ticker symbol SOFI. But to start with Rivian, I wanted to point out that the stock was successful in breaking out of this falling wedge. And it looks like it did find support on this orange line. And I should note that all of these lines I had previously gone over in other videos. The only line that I did add is this one at $18.27, which was the high on November 29th. And so I think that's going to be a pretty key level in order for this bullish move to continue following the close of $18.03 on Friday after a 7.58% move. And so really, the stock needs to close above $18.27, close above that high in order for this to continue. But it is encouraging that it did find support on this orange line. And so I do feel that it is possible, if it is able to close above this yellow line, find support there, it could continue up to fill this gap at $21.58, perhaps around December 8th, where there is this intersection with this downtrending red line. But it might take a little bit longer than that. It might also not get that high, considering that $20, 1987 right here, that gray line, that's probably going to be some resistance there, just a psychological level around 20 bucks. Makes sense. And then just kind of taking a step back before I move over to SoFi, I just want to point out where that orange line originates from versus the other gray line that I have drawn under there. So the orange one is the longer term level of support, whereas the gray line is a little bit shorter. So I feel like that's makes sense. It's a little more compelling. So hopefully that orange line does hold up and Rivian is able to continue higher. And then so now moving on to SoFi, which is pretty similar. Both just broke out of falling wedges. This one actually looks a little bit stronger, though, because it closed higher than its recent high that was on November 29th at $7.73. And I think I actually had that line drawn there before. It's possible I just added it. I forget. I'm sorry. But, it is great that it did close above that level, closing Friday at $7.83. With a high that day of $7.93. And so what I feel would be really good for the stock is if it were to pull back a little bit, find 773 as support, maybe consolidate on that level for a little bit, and or move up to the top of this channel, test that, maybe be rejected, serving as resistance before coming back to the yellow line, really build up that support, and then perhaps break out of the channel. So I think that could be really good. Between these two, I think that SoFi looks much better than Rivian, but both look really good. And it's actually pretty surprising that they've been so similar. So it's nice to cover them in one video like this. And so if SoFi were to break out of this downtrending channel, finding 773 as support, there is a gap to the upside at, I believe, $10.31 that it would need to fill. But there are also these gaps to the downside. So it is quite possible it won't break out of that channel. So just something to consider. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you like it, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks a lot for watching.